Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today in this video we are looking at the REI Flash 22. Now I just recently picked this up several weeks ago during REI's anniversary sale, and I know what some of you are probably thinking. I thought this was the buy local guy, and I am. I support my local gear shop as much as possible, but I also have been a member of REI for probably since the mid-2000s. And so when they run that anniversary sale, it's usually 40% off. If I need something, I need to update something, I usually roll with them. So this pack has been with me on 3 or 4 trips. If you watch my last video, I did an 8-mile trip with this with plenty of water, like 1.5 liters of water, and packed a lot of snacks and my survival kit and all that kind of stuff. So today I'm just going to give you a closer look at the pack. So like I said, what sold me on this pack were these deep water bottles, big enough to hold a Nalgene, deep enough to hold a one of these smart bottles, liter tall bottles. That's what sold me on the pack. Something else that really intrigued me was the weight of the pack. So this is a really thin material, which I think that was the only negative review that I saw, was the durability. After several years, this really thin material kind of starts to rip away a little bit, but we'll cross that bridge. But yeah, so the pockets are what sold me on the pack. It's got some padding in here. What's very interesting about this padding, and I think some other brands are doing this now, is it's removable and you can use it as a seat. If you're hiking in the rain or something like that, and you want to have something dry to sit on, you can pull that padding out and sit on it. Pretty cool feature. Also, the straps are adjustable, like on a lot of backpacks. You can pull it up farther on your back. So that's what these straps are for. And the sternum strap and the hip belt strap, obviously they're adjustable, but there are also these hidden pockets in here where you can hide these. Now, I don't ever see a reason why you'd want to hide your sternum strap, but maybe you're not a hip belt, maybe you've only got 5 pounds in the pack that day, a little bit of water and a snack, and you just want to hide those in there. You can. Pretty neat little attention to detail there. As far as the pack itself, they have this top pocket, which is big enough to hold your, if you have a small first aid kit, it holds, it's enough room to hold a wallet. You can throw your keys down in there, so plenty of room there. And I like the design here too, because it reminds me of an actual backpack. So a lot of day packs, there's all these compartments and there's all these pockets all around. I just don't feel like you need all that. This one pocket on top for, maybe some first aid or something like that you want to get to quick. Everything else is like backpack style, where it's just one open lid. And so I'll open it up, I'll pull a few things out of here. Plenty of room for, bear spray, snacks. I want to show you something else. I stuffed a hoodie down in here, although it's 85 degrees. I just wanted to show you that you can hike with this pack in the wintertime, have extra clothes and that kind of stuff in there. But let me show you, if you can see, there's 2 pockets down in here. Well, let me mention that there is a reservoir sleeve. So, you could, if you like to carry, a reservoir, there's a sleeve for that in there. But there's 2 pockets right on the outside of the reservoir sleeve, which is kind of cool. I've got my headlamp in one of those pockets, and I've got my solar charger in the other. And after that, it's just wide open. I mean, I've got my Sawyer squeeze. Obviously, on a short hike like today, I wouldn't need to filter water because I've got 2 liters of water right here. Enough room for a bandana, fire making kit, and raincoat. So something I don't have in here right now, but there's plenty of room for it, is like my stove or my tarp. All that stuff can fit in here. I really like the pack so far. But as I mentioned before, what sold me on the pack were these big pockets. So if I had one con to say about the pack, it would be that I wish that these water bottle pockets were mesh. And I believe this pack used to have that, because the reviews I read, that was a common issue. What happens is, and what happened on my hike last weekend up to Pilot Mountain, is I started out on a warm, very humid morning, and my water was really cold. So instantly this whole pocket got drenched to the point I could feel it dripping on my leg. Now I opened up the pack to see if there was any issues with it kind of coming through the pack and making the contents inside my pack wet. I didn't really experience that so much. I think there's actually another type of material inside. But yeah, if I had one con, I think that would be it. I like the way it rides. I had mentioned on that hike that I didn't like the way that the sternum strap rode really high. Well, what's cool is you can actually take these off and you can put it down a little farther. So there is some stitching there, but you can move that down where it's a little bit farther across your chest. And like I mentioned in that video, I mean, it's cool that they designed it that way for the ladies out there, so they don't have, you know, their sternum strap coming, you know, right across the breast like that. But anyway, so far I'm happy with it. So I hope you gained something out of it. Oh, and just to mention, regular price on this is 60 bucks. I got it for 40 on that 40% off. So I think for $40, it's gonna make a great day pack, and I hope to get a lot of miles out of it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this short video about the REI Flash 22. And if you're in need of a lightweight day pack, you can't go wrong here. So until next time, peace out. I forgot to mention one more feature. If you're still with me, this is actually pretty cool. So this little bungee right here is actually for your trekking poles. So if you're at a point in your hike where, you know, you're kind of tired of carrying your poles, you have a way to attach them to the pack. You can use this for a couple other things, I would imagine too. Like, you know, if you had something like your tent poles, like if you wanted to go ultra light on an overnight backpacking trip and take this, you could put your tent stakes and poles, you could put your poles on the side and you could cinch them down there. But just wanted to include that. All right, have a great day.